Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for tuning in to our show. We really appreciate you. We don't take this support for granted. The Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, is a man on a mission. And as they say, a man on a mission needs no permission. And Rigathi Gachagua needs no permission. He's a man who is ready, and he has set his eyes in the biggest prize. Rigathi is making certain moves that is worrying William Ruto camp. And William Ruto will regret why he actually appointed Rigathi Gachagua as his running mate. When they formed this government, Rigathi told their people that they are equal shareholders. And it is like he's always saying that before anything is done, any decision, then he should be consulted, because he has always maintained that when the UDA party was being formed, he was a very integral part at the initial levels. He has always told them that they are part of these shareholders. Recently, when they were planning for UDA grassroots elections, and there were rumors that UDA wanted to plant 3 deputy party leaders, Rigathi refused. And his people maintained that just as we have 1 party leader, we must have 1 deputy party leader. And you know that in their NEC meeting, William Ruto was forced to ratify the decision by Rigathi camp that they will only have 1 party leader, who is William Samoei Ruto, 1 deputy party leader, who is Rigathi Gachagua, and 2 other assistant deputy party leaders. So he's a man who it is like he learned from William Ruto, the way William Ruto was dealing with Uhuru Kenyatta. Now today, Rigathi Gachagua made certain statements that is worrying State House, because it is like he has taken a complete new paradigm shift, and he does not care. In his statement, he's saying that they are now moving towards supporting BBI, and they have no apologies for that. Rigathi is saying that Mount Kenya must be considered, and they must be given allocation of funds, especially CDF, in terms of their population. And Rigathi is saying that he's got no apologies to make when demanding for what is commensurate to the people of Mount Kenya. Kindly take a look.
For the avoidance of doubt, it's good that in matters revenue sharing, Rigathi Gachagua, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, is a believer and a proponent of 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling. Resources are about people. The whole issue of resources is about people. The more you are, the more taxes you pay. And it goes without saying, the more taxes you pay, when it comes to sharing, you share more. And it's that way. And we have no apologies to make, because it cannot be a constituency like Roiro, ambaye iko na watu almost 800,000, inapewa similar amount ya CDF with a constituency iko na watu 14,000. Is that fair? We want fairness in sharing of revenue, and we'll be pushing that agenda. Not because we come from a region that has a high population, no, because it's the right thing to do. It is fairness. Let's be fair. And resources are about people. So that will be pushing that agenda. I agree on equalization fund. We do have some areas in this region like Mbere, like Atwanyaga in Thika, like Kieni in Nyeri, like Deya in Kiambu, that literally are semi-arid and they have been forgotten. That is something we must work on ndio tukubaliane. Watu ya Embu munasema munashukuru kwa public appointments kwa serikali. Hakuna haja kushukuru. You deserve them. Ukipanda si lazima uvune.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, when you listen to Rigathi Gachagua, you will realize that there is a target. Because as he speaks, he keeps on mentioning that we have got no apologies to make. Allow me to request you to subscribe to our channel as we expand this discussion and put it where it belongs. Kindly turn on the notification bell when you subscribe so that YouTube will notify you whenever we release a video like this. And to all those who support us, I want to thank you for that very unwavering support. It is for your support that we have reached where we are. Remember, the 1 man, 1 shillings, 1 vote is not a debate that started today. It was there in the Building Bridges initiative that Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga had brought forward. But Rigathi and William Ruto convinced their people that this was a strategy just to ensure that the BBI distributed powers to the dynasty, as they called it. At some point, they even crafted narratives that Raila wanted to become the president and Uhuru Kenyatta was to become the prime minister. They saw it as a clever way of returning Uhuru. And remember, they had said that it was Uhuru Kenyatta who was responsible for all the economic mess, as they say it. They even went to court through their proxies, and the BBI was thwarted at the court level. So why bring back the issue of 1 man, 1 shillings, 1 vote? Even as the negotiations were going on at Bomas, the team that was being led by Kimani Ichung'wah, majority leader, and the Wiper Party leader, Kalonzo Musyoka, it was said that that NADCO report was rejected by Uhuru Kenyatta because one of the things that Uhuru thought would be contained in that report was 1 man, 1 shillings, 1 vote, and it was not there. And so it was said Uhuru rejected it. The only person who has championed this goes with a lot of might, is the Githunguri member of parliament, Gathoni Wamuchomba. And she's been convincing parliament that they should relook at a formula to ensure that they distribute resources in terms, or that is commensurate to each and every region. Remember, there was a debate that do we distribute this based on the geographical area, or do we use the number of people? There are places that are sparsely populated, others are largely populated. So why bring this discussion back? Ladies and gentlemen, that is what I want us to look at. Number one, the timing is very significant and very suspicious at the same time. There are talks about Limuru 3, where Uhuru Kenyatta and a host of other Mount Kenya leaders want to champion a course. They want to lead a course that will lead to 2027. And among the things that they want to discuss is the 1 man, 1 shillings, 1 vote, and how Mount Kenya is being treated in this government. They want to see whether the promises that they were given have been realized. From where you sit, do you think the promises that the Kenya Kwanza team gave to Mount Kenya have been realized? Some people are joking around that the only one that has been realized is the feast of that delicacy of rice and meat that people consumed at Sagana Lodge, is the only thing that they have succeeded in doing. But do you think they have succeeded? So in that Sagana 3, people are going to discuss, those leaders, including Maina Njenga, it has been really hyped. And it is expected that they are going to talk about issues that are pertinent to Mount Kenya. One of the issues that is bedeviling Mount Kenya, and they have cried about it. I've even seen the chairperson of the Council of Governors, Anne Waiguru, revisiting this discussion. So Rigathi Gachagua is going ahead of them, that before they start discussing one man, 1 shillings, 1 vote, he's ahead. So he's trying to counter Uhuru Kenyatta. Remember, this was Uhuru's brainchild, if you ask me. And they even tried looking into ways to ensure that Mount Kenya benefited. Some people were saying that Rigathi did not realize that they were going to benefit, and William Ruto would winked him into rejecting that report. They would have been somewhere. Today, Mount Kenya would be benefiting. There were going to be added more constituencies, and that would mean more money, more staff, more offices. But William Ruto deceived him. So it is about trying to counter Uhuru Kenyatta and countering what he feels is going to be discussed at Limuru 3. And I also want you to notice that Rigathi says that they are many, that their areas are largely populated. And they're saying that when you are many, then it means that you give more taxes. And when you give more taxes, it means that when it comes to sharing of revenue, then you should be given more. In other words, Rigathi is simply telling William Ruto that, look here, guys, we are so many. And because of our numbers, don't try to play around with us. And he's trying to craft it in a way, when you are many, you give more revenue, and so you should be given more during resource allocation. So what is he telling him? Based on our numbers, if you try to shortchange us, then we can go on our own. Because there have been talks that maybe William Ruto is planning to shortchange Rigathi Gachagua. And he's making it very clear, but in a very clever manner, that don't forget that we have the numbers. Don't forget that it is the Mount Kenya vote that plunged you into becoming the president of Kenya. Rigathi Gachagua still wants to entrench himself as the real and the sole kingpin in Mount Kenya. For you to become a kingpin, you must speak their language. You must speak what they feel. What do they feel? 1 man, 1 shillings, 1 vote. And this is the reason why I think that this is coming at this time. Why couldn't he speak it? Why now? I also feel that Rigathi Gachagua has gotten the audacity to start championing for the real cause. Remember, there's been a discussion that most of these people, and I remember sometimes Pauline Njoroge was saying that their number 2 is only there for self-aggrandizement. He's not championing for the cause of Mount Kenya. And there's been this discussion that most of Mount Kenya leaders do not really champion for the cause. And I want to give you an example. During the Finance Bill 2023, Rigathi Gachagua rallied the support of all the Mount Kenya leaders, and they voted to pass this bill, only to realize that that what was contained in it was very injurious to some of the farmers, like the avocado levies. They've been crying for. And in fact, Rigathi Gachagua formed a caucus to discuss what is ailing the avocado farmers. And so, for he to come out and start championing for 1 man, 1 shillings, 1 vote, this is a direct confrontation with William Samoei Ruto. And it is like he's telling him, I'm now ready to champion for the real cause, for the real agenda of Mount Kenya. If you like, you can take it or leave it. That is why I'm saying we have no apologies. Rigathi Gachagua is gaining momentum by the day, and it seems that someone is polishing Rigathi Gachagua on his talks, the way he dresses, the way he behaves. Because if you look at him, this is the moment when Rigathi Gachagua seems to be championing for the real causes. He wants to appear as the man who has just woken up and has realized that this is what Mount Kenya is yearning for. And it's like he's telling William Samoei Ruto, we are ready to go for it. Full throttle. If you don't like it, you can leave it. But as Mount Kenya, based on our numbers, we are moving forward with it. But tell me something. Do you think he's going to succeed? Because people understand him. If you ask me, he's trying. And, people will soon be convinced that indeed Rigathi Gachagua is becoming very slowly the Mount Kenya campaign. I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, but I think Rigathi's move is based on the reasons that I've given. That's my take.